though you might be a liar and a cheat too. I just can't quit you now 'cause I love you. Yes, I do. I can't let you go, baby. I can't let you go, baby. 'Cause I love you, I love you, I love you. No, 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 no. Trouble, you best beware. And though deep down, I know I might be headed for teardrops. Now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No, no. 'Cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby. I gotta tell you that I won't. I've been looking for love so true. When I was down and out, along came you. Though you might be a liar and a cheat too. I just can't quit you now 'cause I love you.
There we go. Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing okay. I spent last night, I was just saying in the messages, moving my desk around because I kind of got tired of seeing that picture behind me because all I have behind me is a white wall. And to be frank, I have a few like bookshelves and stuff like that I could have made pizzazzy, but then if I realized if I just turned my desk around, you guys could see my TV with like a painting next to it. And then like the light that I have installed behind the TV, I feel like that would just be a lot easier than me trying to put my bookcase behind my desk here and make it even more cluttered in the back. So today we have a lot to talk about. I'm going to go over a little bit more about the railroad strike that could be happening starting next week. We'll see what happens here. It could always be postponed another 30 days. You never know. We're also going to be talking about Bitcoin. If we're going to be breaking above this level of resistance, this is going to be a hard one. But guys, whales have been plenty willing to keep on pushing Bitcoin up. So let's see if they can do it again here. And I'll talk about some of my latest trades that I did. If you guys watched my earlier video that I posted out about, I want to say like 2-3 hours ago, you guys know what I was trying to do today. I think it was actually like 5-6 hours ago now. But you guys know the trade I did earlier today, and I'm just I'm actually 50% out of it right now. So we'll see where that one's going to. And then we'll talk about what's happening over the next few days. So far, we did finish off what we talked about yesterday as far as hitting that level of resistance. But you know, let's kind of go in a little bit deeper in here now. There we go. Okay, so we got the chart up here. This is your typical daily chart for Bitcoin. Not looking as bad. And just so you guys know, I'm already started off this stream in a bad way because I'm already talking fast. I'm going to try to cool off how fast I talk. I'm going to see how that goes. I'm going to try now, but just in case you feel like I'm going slower than normal, it's because I'm trying to not rush through everything like I normally do. I even got a cup of water and a cup of tea to help me out with it today. Okay. So what we got going on right now, everybody, is we did get rejected off of this level of resistance here. We did talk about how we are facing some resistance up here. It is going to be hard to break out above this 1 time rejected, 2 times rejected, 3 times rejected here, but we still have an opportunity to move up even higher. And I think we legitimately have a chance to continue moving up here. I think really for the next 2 weeks, Bitcoin does have an opportunity to keep on moving up. When September comes around, we might see some little bit more pressure coming down as far as more economic data that might suggest that, we're seeing those worst aspects of a recession. But for now, guys, we're going strong. We're going strong. So what happened here over on the 4-hour chart, we tested it out last night. I think some of you guys that were watching the midnight stream with me, you guys were watching us have this little bit of a pump. We got rejected pretty handily. We bounced up, and then you just saw shorts came right in and took us down, okay? Now, so far we're testing out that 20 moving average here on the 4-hour chart. I'm not really inclined to buy right now. I'm actually scaling out of the shorts I took up here, and we'll see how that one goes in the future. But right now, what I expect to happen over, let's say next 16 to 24 hours, I want Bitcoin to just kind of glide around in these ranges over here, maybe back over till here-ish about. And then from there, we can start making a little bit more aggressive movements. If we do start coming back down here to actually retest some of these supports, I will probably buy some just in case. And then they're going to be what we did last time, low leverage positions, because I don't want to expose myself too much here. And then if we eventually do break down, what I'll be more likely to do is actually just start opening up another short. Even though the last short failed, there's a reason why I told you guys I'm doing a low leverage play here, and that was specifically because of CPI data. We didn't know if it was going to be blockbuster big or blockbuster bad. It was blockbuster good, so I ended up being on the wrong side of that trade here. So what I want to show you guys, what I did earlier today, and if you guys watched that video this morning, you guys already know this, but there was a double top here last night, and when we actually broke down below that double top, I ended up taking a short position on it. There we go. It went negative. Oops, sorry. Loki went over here to touch my hands. He was like, I want attention. We ended up consolidating for a little bit of time, like a good 45 minutes. Then we started to make our move down. I told you guys I was going to scale at 50% when we actually hit the 200 moving average on the 15-minute chart. And if you guys look at this, we hit it. So I'm officially 50% out of this trade. I've actually moved my stop loss down from where it was back up here all the way to right here. So if I move this down right here, I'm still trying to give this a little bit of a generous, generous stop loss here. So it's moved down to about 24,247 or two. I think it's actually 24,245 because I don't care about the extra $2. So I'm keeping an eye on it with that. I think it was either it's a 20x leverage play right here. So pretty much with that, I've locked in about I don't know, like a 27% or so profit for holding for about 10 hours and 50 minutes. Another one of those day trades I keep talking to you guys about. I'll wait to see what happens with it, going forward. But if it does eventually hit that stop loss, so be it. I've at least walked away with some good profit, and that's what I'm going to be looking for here over the next few days. I don't feel confident enough to do a swing trade here. I'm happy with these day trades. They're making me a little bit of money. I'm not trying to find trades right now. I'm just letting the trades come to me. And right now, like we just talked about, I'm looking at us more at a level of resistance here. And while we may break out of this, I'm not going to bet that we are going to break out of it, just because the last few times we've tried, it really hasn't gone so well for us, right? So a couple things here besides that. We're not going to go over the NASDAQ today. NASDAQ has been pretty simple. Same with the Dow and the S&P. I haven't heard anything really crazy going on there. The one thing that I did want to talk to you guys about is yesterday we talked about STMX, and I gave you guys a couple warnings saying, hey, watch out, it's up like 4%, let's see where it goes. I did not predict it was going to have such a parabolic move yesterday, but this has been something repeatedly where I told you guys I like this because I buy it, I just kind of wait, and it has these little pops here. And while I was streaming here, I wasn't able to take profits. I took profits here, and I took profits yesterday. I have not bought and back into STMX yet. I sold off half my position. I'm hoping that we come down a little bit more today, and I might be able to buy some more. But this time I actually didn't even get anywhere close to the top up here. If you guys saw this boom yesterday, it actually went up like 107%. I sold at 16 cents because I was like, 16 cents is a good enough level, because by the time I was looking at it, it was already at 14 cents. And so I actually missed my normal place where I sell, which has normally been around this level of resistance right here. So STMX made me some good money again. I'm going to be rinsing and repeating this one until it does not work anymore. And then I'm just going to be holding it for the long term. So STMX, guys, this has been a great play. I'm currently working on some of my top 5 coins that I like, and these top 5 coins are going to be certain lists based off of different categories like metaverse. Are they financial sector? Are they dealing with businesses? All types of stuff here. Payment products. You know, there's a lot of stuff in the metaverse, right, or in the cryptoverse, so to speak. So this is going to be on one of those lists here towards the top, if not one of the top ones, because this bad boy over the last few weeks has just been making me more money than all of my other trades, because, well, not all of my other trades with leverage there. But, you know, if I just buy a little bit right here, it pops, I sell 50% off. I buy some more, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And I'm doing this with my long-term holdings, so I'm just accumulating a lot of STMX for the long run here. The fact that this continues to have a lot of momentum, you know, with people buying this up, that does make me pretty happy. Now, a lot of this is pure day traders, probably some whales having some fun here, making some good money. However, I still believe in STMX for the long run. So keep an eye on this one, guys. You guys don't have to buy it, of course, but this is just something you're going to hear me talking about for a while longer, as you've already been hearing me talking about it over the past few weeks. This one has been performing very well, and I still do not know what actually was the catalyst for making this grind up. During the midnight stream with you guys last night, I was just noticing, hey, a lot of stuff is down 1% or about you know, not moving up or down, but we had Ethereum Classic up a little bit, which ended up popping pretty well today also, but then you had STMX up about 4 or 5%, and then a few hours later, it really just went parabolic here. So if you go back over here to the 5-minute chart, you'll see how fast this happened, right? So I got an alert right here, and like I told you, by the time I actually ended up checking it out, it was already over here. And I was like, okay, let me just try to sell it. And it just kept going up and up and up. And by then I was like, let me sell half of it, half my STMX, and buy it back down later. I haven't bought it back yet, but I will be buying that STMX back a little bit later, probably over the next 24 hours at least. Most definitely, actually, over the next 24 hours. And then I'll take that profit and I'll use it for more STMX when I feel like it's gone down low enough, hopefully over the next few months here. All right. Another big play that you guys might have missed was Ethereum Classic. This one was a little bit different than STMX because this one actually has a lot more volume because it is on Robinhood. It's on a lot more exchanges, as you guys know. Ethereum Classic is all over the place. This might be one of the big plays for next year just because even though it already has a big market cap, you've already seen that this thing is getting pumped up like crazy off of the Robinhood Webull crowds who love to have some fun in these type of meme stocks, meme coin type of environment. And this is no exception here. Just be careful, guys. When they do have these mega pumps, those are usually opportunities for you to scale out of your positions and then buy back down lower. If you were to sell over here, you know, let's not even say at the very highs. If you're just able to sell over here, you know, you bought back here towards the dip, you're saving at least 3%. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but you know, it does add up over time when you have pop after pop after pop, and this definitely had a good one. If you want to consider yourself luckier than most and you sold over here, you could have been saving around 4 or 5%. But I think I'm more realistic, and I'd be selling over here at the first signs of weakness, just because I want to bank in the profit from buying over here, over here, over here, all the way around, right? So I'm very excited to see what a lot of these coins are going to be doing. I'm patiently waiting for Ethereum Classic to come back down towards that 20-day moving average. And then from there, I'm going to be watching to see if we're going to break down or not. But as you guys can see here with Ethereum Classic, one of the reasons I'm eyeballing it right now is we have the 50-day moving average coming back up. And we're going to have a golden cross here pretty soon with the 200 daily moving average. And the last time that happened was way over here, and that was not a full-on reversal. This time we might actually have something good going on here. As you guys can see right here, look at that. I mean, the price was well down below it. It was a kind of a fade off, so it happened a while ago. Go back in time a little bit more. Oh, geez. Okay, maybe we shouldn't go back that far. The last time the Golden Cross happened, besides that one, was all the way over here in December of 2020. So it's been a hot minute for Ethereum Classic. We did have that fake out one right here that we just talked about, but as you guys can see, this one looks a little bit stronger than this one. And so I'm hopeful to see where we can go from here. Let's hope we're not going to fall into that same trap again. Any other coins that I think I saw that were good? Probably not. If you guys have any questions on the coins, I'll go over them in a second. There's that one last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about here, and a couple more technical stuff. So I was able to pinpoint when the railroad strike might happen. So according to all the railroad unions and the people I see on TikTok and Twitter and all the railroad guys that, you know, I trust more than just the government news organizations, here's an article saying that, let me see if I can find that. The PEB is scheduled to recommend a settlement by August 15th at the latest, then yet another 30-day cooling off period during which workers may not legally strike. The workers say they're going to strike regardless on the 15th. I'm going to be interested to see if that does go through or not. And the reason why I think they may strike rather than may not strike is Biden put somebody in here for an emergency board, a presidential emergency board for this. But this guy is pro-capitalist. He is not a fan of the working class. Okay, let's just say that. So I'm expecting him to, and every single time he's tried to do something like this, he's been in this role before, he's gone for the company, not the workers. So this could become a big political thing over the next few weeks, because if they can't figure something out, Congress is going to have to try to fix it, and Congress is not going to do it. They're not going to be able to work together on this. At least I don't think so. But I think they're probably going to strike before then. So August 15th, which is Monday, I believe, that is going to be a day where you guys should be looking at the news, or maybe even Sunday, and just kind of figuring out what's going on with that, because if that does happen, it will be a huge shock to the markets. And I've been watching CNBC for a while. I haven't been watching it 24/7, of course, but I haven't seen much news on this strike and what's going on here. So, you know, let's be patient and wait this out. But it is something, again, I encourage you guys to kind of keep track of, because it is going to be newsworthy, I think, over the next week or over the next few weeks if they're not able to reach any type of deal. Okay. Now, before we start going over the other stuff, Bitcoin right here, something interesting I just found out a few hours ago as I was going back this with my old charts here. We all know that the 20-week moving average is coming down. We probably have, oh wow, we're most likely going to come into contact with this mid-August, no, late August, August 29th, maybe even the week before that, August 22nd. Yeah, huh. We may, this will be the big battle I think we're going to be looking at, but maybe about a week from now. And what happens as we approach the 20-week moving average here? Last time we broke above it only to crash. The time before that, we got rejected off of it after, you know, breaking down below it. And then historically, you know, once we break down below it, it does take some time for us to break back out. And even then, just like this last time we experienced, it popped up only to crash back down. But I would assume that's just from COVID, right? So I want to see what happens. I do think we're due for some volatility coming pretty soon. But like I said in the intro here, we may have 1 or 2 more weeks of some good stuff coming along, and then we're most likely going to have a pretty poor September. I'm surprised how much we've rallied so far this month, and I'm pretty happy we have. It's nice to trade some longs and make some money, not just shorting, because I know a lot of people got used to shorting over the last few months with all this doozies of easy money coming in. And the one last thing here is, you guys know we look at the TMAs every now and again. If you guys don't know what TMAs are, they're triple exponential moving averages. I don't put much stock in us breaking down below them or breaking it above them. What I look for in the team is I want to see that these moving averages are clustering together, because historically when these moving averages cluster together, we see some pretty strong moves on the downward side or the upward side. Since we're in a bear market, we've definitely seen more coming down. But guys, these clusters have been pretty good for us so far. I'm noticing that the 200 daily moving average on the team is starting to level out. So we may actually have some type of catalyst here, some larger moves probably happening towards the end of August, according to this one. It really depends on if Bitcoin can make its way back down to maybe $21,000. If that does happen, I would assume we're going to have a pretty nasty move, or let's not say nasty, a pretty volatile move towards the end of the month. With the 20-week moving average coming in too, you would expect us to be coming back down, but that we could always just have a big boom, blast out of a major resistance and burn some shorts along the way. So that is also a possibility. But I do think we're due for some extreme volatility coming up, and that's going to be a time where you guys are just going to be excited to watch the show here and enjoy some of these really crazy moments that we like to see off of Bitcoin's price action. Now, not much has been happening today. I've been looking over the last 24 hours. One thing that kind of blew up, as somebody reiterated earlier, was Anchor. This is something where I might be willing to short this back down, but everything else over the last 24 hours has pretty much been, up 5, up 6. Most stuff over here is like or even down just a little bit. I would say most stuff is just up 1%, down 1%, but you do have some stuff over here like Anchor, which is actually doing very, very well. One of you guys stopped yourself from shorting it yesterday, and it looks like you guys saved yourself from losing quite a bit of money here. And you guys can see, what did it get stopped at? 200 daily moving average. You guys can continue to try to trade this if you want to, but I think shorts are going to be entering the market right now, so just be careful with this one. If I was to trade this, I might do a low leverage short, but I'm not going to go risky on this one. This, if I can put this one right here for you. Now I want to go to 200 on the daily. There we go. You can see that resistance right here. So just so you guys know, this is a 15-minute chart, 200 moving average on the daily, corresponding to the 15-minute chart. We're having some issues get above it. I still think we have an opportunity to. I want to see what happens with this 15, and on the 1-hour chart, I want to see what happens with this 20 here. I'm very curious to see if this thing is going to keep on ripping, but I do want to open up a short on this eventually. Right now, I'll keep an eye on it. It would only be a short for up to 24 hours, and that's not going to turn into a swing trade by any stretch. But this is something I think you guys might want to have some fun. Whether you guys want to paper trade on it or not, it is looking pretty good right now. Okay, let's go back over here to the second chart. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. This is going to be a pretty fun day, guys. Hey, Miss Nikkei. Hey, Neil. Hope you guys are doing well. Hey, Mr. Wheelie. Good morning, afternoon, good evening, everybody. What's right here? Oh, hey, Monica. Good evening, Michael and the gang. What's right here? I'm doing good. Hey, Alan, happy to see you back as well. What's right here? Hey, day trading short Anchor USDT. I think a lot of people probably agree with you there. I think it's going to be exciting to see what happens in the next, I think, like 2 hours. You're going to see some volatility kick off there. If it can break and hold above the 200 daily moving average, it can go a lot further. Just look at what happened to STMX when it did the same thing. And hey, Ken, happy to see you back. See. And hey, Robert has a warning for everybody. Please don't go to WhatsApp. It's a trap. I lost all my crypto to Nick, J, AJ, and Ryan impersonators. Yeah, guys, I talk to you guys about this every now and again. I don't show you guys streams anymore because the last time I showed you guys a scam stream, YouTube thought I was a scam stream, so that didn't end up well for me. But you guys know there are people impersonating me all the time. I try my best to delete all the comments, but there's just so many of them, the spam ones. Never give your crypto to anybody. Never give your passwords to anybody. Just keep your crypto, keep your keys to yourself. Don't let anybody know that information. No YouTuber cares enough, or has the time, I should say has the time enough to really go out of their way to help you make a lot of money. Like, I help some of you guys on Discord every now and again, but you guys reach out to me. I don't reach out to you. You ask me a question, and if it's like an informative question I can tell you trying to learn, I will invest some of my time to help you guys out. But if you guys just want easy data, like, hey, Michael, what do you think about this? Michael, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? I tend to not respond after a while, of course. So, when you guys see imposters out there that have my logo on it saying, hey, go to my WhatsApp, I have a WhatsApp, but I don't use the WhatsApp. So, make sure not to fall for any of those traps. There's a lot of scam streams out there, guys. A lot of scam streams. If you guys go over to Bitcoin right now and you just type in Bitcoin, hit the live button, you guys will see a few ARK Invest scam streams and a few Elon scam streams right now. Don't give them your crypto. In fact, you guys could always track their wallets, because the wallets are, plastered on the streams, and you can see how many people are actually falling for the scams versus how many are not falling for the scams. It does, it is pretty tough when you have all those scammers out there, and YouTube is trying their best from what I understand, but there's just like literally thousands and millions of bots that are just like wreaking havoc on the crypto world. I would just say finance world right now. What's it here? And hey, Puma, happy to see you as well. I'm doing pretty well, guys. I moved my stuff around, as you guys can see. It's been a pretty nice day, guys. I played outside with Loki. I got him to go in the pool. Tomorrow is his bath day. I de-shedded him today. That was pretty fun. Loki's been having a blast. Loki, I don't know if you know where he's at. He might be on the bed. I can try to give him a treat here while waiting for Bitcoin to make a move here. Here you go. You can see his ear in the corner. Loki. Yeah. There you go. See him in all of his glory. He's very gentle if you just nudge him on the nose before you actually give him the food. If you don't, he'll be like Velociraptor. But if you just give him a little nudge, not even a hit, just a little pop, he's like, oh, okay, he's trying to feed me. I should probably not try to bite the hand that feeds me here, right? There we go. But if you guys have any questions on coins, let me know. I'm going to go over a few here and just kind of go over the basics that what we've been looking at, because a lot of what we've been looking at over the past few weeks here has been Bitcoin and Ethereum. And Ethereum, has been a big leader of how bad things can go. So when Ethereum breaks down, Bitcoin's actually been following Ethereum over the last few weeks here. So far, I have a Fibonacci retracement level on here. I don't really think I need it right now, because I think there's still an opportunity for Ethereum to go up. I was just putting some levels down here in case we actually did dip back down towards the 20-day moving average. I was looking to see if there was a good entry position there based off of more than just the Fibonacci levels. So we have had that golden cross, guys. That golden cross from a while ago, it has netted you guys about 22% profit off of Ethereum. Although if you bought, you might have been freaked out by this initial dip. That's for sure. But what Ethereum is facing right now is a pretty decent level of resistance, just like everything else. Right around here, it has a little bit more upswing. I think Ethereum could really hit $2,000. After that, we might have some trouble as we run into that 200, that 200 daily moving average here. But there is an opportunity, everybody, to make a good move. Let me move one thing over here very fast on my side of the thing. There we go. We do see some good moves coming out of Ethereum. I still think there is an opportunity here. On the 4-hour chart, I was looking at a little bit earlier. None of the moving averages have really been a big help here at all. But so far, we're still well above the 20. We glide above it every now and again. I think we still have an opportunity. If I want to buy Ethereum, though, I want it to come back down towards 1,800. I want to be a little bit cheap about it, and then I'll wait to see if it goes up a little bit higher. But so far, Ethereum is going strong. I don't see any problems with it right now. I think we may have a reversal over the next 5 days on a lot of these coins, but there still is the opportunity for Ethereum to make its move back up here towards $2,000, which will really freak a lot of people out, because as you guys remember, me and a lot of you guys bought Ethereum down here at these lower levels when it was down at $1,000. Some of you guys even got it down here at like $800 and $900. And so if you bought like around $1,000, when things were kind of calm down here and everybody was freaking out, right now you'd be up around 77%, and that's just after 44 days. And that's why it's important that you guys don't fear buying at these lower levels. Because at the end of the day, I bought crypto right here. I bought some 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 right here. And I've stopped buying right now because I think we're going to be coming back down eventually. But Ethereum and a lot of these coins have been doing very well for you. And that's why I always suggest that don't feel bad about buying here, buying here, buying here, buying here, buying here. In the long run, Ethereum is going to make you a lot of money as it goes back up, maybe to $5,000, $6,000, who knows, during the next big rally. But there still is a great opportunity here. And for those of you guys that are always afraid of buying at the bottom, it may play out like this bottom, or this bottom over here. It may not always work out, but in the long run it will. And in this circumstance here, it has been doing very, very well for a lot of people out there. So if you guys bought some Ethereum and you guys are scaling out of it, awesome. If you guys are still holding it for the long term, even better. All right, Dogecoin's been pretty interesting. We're still on the edge of a pretty big drop off here. We're still not, I mean, let me actually zoom in here for you guys to see this properly. Let me move my microphone over so I can talk towards the screen. There you go. Dogecoin is still about 7.5% to 8% away from breaking down here. So we're in a pretty safe spot. Bitcoin's not crashing anytime soon. At least I don't think so. I hope not, unless we have some bad news coming out. But, you know, we're still in this nice consolidation. You're seeing Dogecoin have these daily moves every now and again, where if you go over here to the 4-hour chart, you'll see these little spikes come out of nowhere, and you're just seeing people that maybe have bought in over here. They start to sell with like an 8 to 9% profit. It falls back down. You can rebuy if you want to. But Dogecoin is giving you guys some nice opportunities to scale out of your positions just to accumulate more Dogecoin if that's your type of trading style. If you guys just want to buy and hold, by all means, go for it. But Dogecoin has been giving you guys some pretty nice swings, and that's been encouraging because a lot of times, like, you know, when Bitcoin tends to be boring, you guys will notice that Dogecoin tends to be boring. Bitcoin, Dogecoin is starting to get a little bit more exciting here. All right, dollar index, guys, this is something that we've been talking about for a while. This is, we may have found a short-term bottom here. We'll see if we keep on going down here, but there is fears now that oil prices are kind of finding a level here where they can kind of stagnate, and maybe the dollar index is finding a level that can stagnate. That might indicate over the next few days that we do have a reversal, maybe over the next 2-3 days. But again, we'll be keeping a close eye on this. We're about to have a death cross here with the dollar index, and that usually is a good thing for the dollar index. Last time we had one was over here, and a little bit of a drop, not too bad. I'm looking at the 250. Yeah, that's okay. Right here, this is more of what I'm hoping is going to happen here, where we continue to come down bit by bit, and you may see an opportunity for that to actually boost Bitcoin even further. But if we do find a little bit of a bottom here short term and we start making our way back up, you may see Bitcoin actually have that reversal and start going back down to that trend line that we've been talking about. Let me just show you on this chart. You know, that general trend line right there. As far as the NASDAQ is concerned, we're still on this little general uptrend here. I'm probably just going to go over to the weekly chart here. We're going to have to cool off soon, everybody. The market's going to have a hard time blasting above both the 50-week and 200-weekly moving averages. But you know, we may have 1 or 2 more weeks left of good juice left in us to really keep everything moving strong. And one of the things I actually noticed earlier today, and I don't think I noticed it a while ago, see right here, let me put that back. That's going to be a little bit weird. There we go. You know, we will probably have an issue getting back above this 50-day moving average here, or 50-week moving average. But again, if you just kind of do the math here, there's still about like another 4 to 6% upside here. So the opportunity is there. We may have to bounce off the 20 for a little bit of time and then keep on moving up, but there's an opportunity there. Anything else here I wanted to talk about? No, okay. There we go. Go back here. And now if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Hey, Nate Discount, mind checking out SoFi stock when you finish up Crypto Talk? I'm adding shares to my bag. Yeah, there you go. I saw people today actually buying up Robinhood, which is pretty interesting because I've been trying to buy that up a little bit. I have been buying it up a little bit. SoFi. So SoFi's, is this SoFi? Is SoFi the one that has it having the issues right now or not? No, it is. It is. A couple days ago, let me see what this drop was. This drop from here to here. Yeah, 6% day. Okay. So SoFi is in kind of a weird spot right now. So I think their balance sheet is okay. The fundamentals are fine. Not great, but fine. And they're still looking like a good long-term hold for me. If you go over, this is the weekly chart here. You can see since they've opened, they opened back over here in December of 2020 when things were looking very good for crypto, right? They've gone down a lot since then, and I think they are laying off some people right now. Again, I do think they're going to be a good long-term hold here, but what was interesting is they had good earnings, and you can see actually the pop-off from the good earnings right here. Let's not say good, but better than expected, right? So they did have that good pop, but what I think happened a few days ago, if my mind serves me correctly, is that there's another company out there that holds shares, that has invested in SoFi. That company dumped their shares. and that's why we saw this little bit of a drop here. And the CEO was trying to answer some questions about it. So that was a little bit of the bad news that we saw happening with SoFi this week. I still think it's going to be a good long-term hold here, and I do have a bag on SoFi myself. I've been accumulating SoFi since about $10. It's now at $7.42. Now my average is more around here, around $7, because I, of course, when it's going down this fast, you just want to dip your toes in. Same with what we did with Robinhood. But right now, what I see with this chart, I think it's going to be coming back down, mostly because I think Bitcoin's going to be coming back down here, frankly. But what we're looking at here, I mean, there's a lot of different bounce points that I'd be willing to play. Most importantly, this one right here, if we actually break down below this trend line, I'm probably going to buy some puts that take me back down to $6 or so, and I'll probably open those up around $7. I want to see how much liquidity is in those. So I don't want to, be stuck holding profitable shorts or puts that nobody wants to buy. That'd be worthless for me, right? But so far, I have been accumulating this over the past few months, like I should say. But as of late, I haven't been buying much since it got back above like $7. I've just been like, I don't feel the need to keep on buying it here. But this is something I have in my retirement account. One of the things here, if I can find, there we go. Take a sip of tea. My tea strainer is in the dishwasher, so I'm drinking tea leaves here. I think there's a dandelion in here, but there's no sugar, so I'm tasting flat out leaves. There we go. Okay, so as far as this is concerned, let's go over here to SoFi. There we go. And you guys can kind of see what's on my screen right now. Awesome. What you guys are looking at is option flow data and dark pool data. You guys don't have to use dark pool data or option flow data to make good trades. It's just kind of helping you figure out what the hedge funds are buying, what the big money is buying, because usually big money is smart money, and smart money has insider knowledge. So, you can see right now there's some calls in here that expire the 19th, the 20th, 2023. I'm not looking at that type of stuff here. Anything that, well, let me see the closest expiration date. 8/12, 8/19. So most of the stuff that's expiring later this week is kind of a mixed bag here, actually. I'm looking at 21K, 14K, anything higher than that, maybe 65K. There might be a short-term bump up here. They bought it at 742, price 97. Oh, that's cheap calls, that's why. With a strike of 650. So those are in the money, though, so that's not going to really make too much of a... that's not going to help you out too much there. But going back into end of this, 2023, high 10. So it looks like people are betting on by January and March of next year, SoFi is going to be doing just fine. But I'm looking at this and everything else until then looks pretty mixed. I could probably go over here, look at some historical flow. Let me get rid of the dark pool data right now. Unless, is there actually anything interesting in dark pool data? Buying some off here, price, okay, nothing too crazy. Buying, selling. Okay, that's not bad. All right, let me go over here very fast. I want to go off of premium here. There's not really much premium being tossed in here. This is for 2024, 2023. October here, 785 spot. Strike price 750. That's like 8 cents above where it is now at a dollar price. 916. I mean, people think, hedge funds think this has a little bit more upswing, but not by much, and they're not willing to put a lot of money back behind it. Whereas if you look at something like an Apple or, more established tech company that has a lot of money in it, people are really betting on that to go a little bit higher. And there's a lot more liquidity in that market there, mostly because it's above $7, of course. But yeah, as far as this is concerned, man, I wouldn't be buying it right now. I'd really just be holding on to what I have. But I do think this thing is going to be great down the road, just because, like a lot of other companies out there in this kind of space, they aren't just dealing with crypto. They have loans, they have other revenue sources besides crypto, although I'll say that crypto is a big chunk of their revenue source. There we go. All right. Hey, thanks, Brandon. Let's see. What for RVN? September Ethereum merge will send all miners from Ethereum to mine RVN. Can it go to $1? Probably not. I don't know much about RVN though. If I go over here to Coin Market Cap, I may be able to find something out. RVN, not RVNM. RVN. There you go. Right. It's at a $400 million market cap. It's at 5% today. I don't know if much of that's going to be priced in by the time that happens. Let me see. Excuse me. It has no shortage of places of being bought, so it can get pretty volatile here over the next few weeks and months. Market cap is 4. It's at 0.03. No, I don't think it would hit $1. If it really does want to go mini parabolic here, and if Bitcoin's kind of going more stagnant, or maybe if it's popping off a little bit more, I mean, maybe if all the miners start heading over there, you might see it hit 10 cents, maybe 15 cents if you really want to throw something wild out there. But even with all the help of the miners, I don't think it's going to be enough, because I think there's going to be a lot of people that have been owning Ravencoin for a while, selling off all their assets for profit, which is what they most likely would do, because you never know when Bitcoin's going to take a downward turn. This may have a pump up to maybe 5, 6, 7 cents more realistically, but if it does want to have something really massive happening with a lot of pumping going on from outside sources, big money out there, it may be able to make its way back up to 10 cents, maybe even 15 cents, because it is only at a $411 million market cap. If it was in the billions, it might be a little bit more difficult, of course, but it could actually get to around maybe up to 15 cents maybe, but I would say more realistically, I'd be out of this by 7, 8 cents if it really did have one of those larger pops with a good scale out method there, depending on how you want to look at it. But yeah, it looks like it'd be definitely interested in playing around with. If it's true that all the miners are going to be going over there, I'd be much more inclined just to buy and hold and not even try to trade it, just see where it goes, and then have a decent stop loss of 5 and 10%, because you're going to be expecting definitely more than 5% back, 5 to 10% back off of that type of trade. Oh, and hey, B Supreme, thank you. That's what I was thinking about. SoftBank sold SoFi. That's what I was looking at the other day. And I saw the SoFi CEO on CNBC talking about it. And he had been talking about how he didn't know what was going on with them, why they decided to sell. All he knew was what the news sources were telling him. And again, that wasn't too much information. We may find out more information down the road, but I think that was interesting to see that they were selling off their stock. And hey, Mike, appreciate it very much. Thanks for the likes, everybody. I always appreciate the likes. I always appreciate the follows. And hey, B Supreme, student loan forgiveness is hurting SoFi currently. Great long-term play, though. Yeah. Well, guys, after this election cycle is over, I don't think Biden has an incentive to even worry about student loan forgiveness going forward, right? I don't think he has an incentive at all. He's battling so many things right now. And the only reason he's considering doing that is for votes. I mean, we can be frank about it, I think. There are a lot of people out there that are struggling due to student debt. But normally, historically, I would assume that Biden doesn't really like the idea there. And I think he doesn't like the idea now. But I think he understands that he needs to find a way to get his voters to vote for him, to want to vote for him, right? It can't always be that other party is bad, Republicans are bad, Libertarians are bad, the Green Party's bad, you gotta vote for the Democrats. It has to be like, hey, we're better than all those other parties because we can do this for you, and look at all the stuff we've done for you so far. Now, of course, the economy is really a big thing right now, and he hasn't really managed the economy well. So in order to kind of help that out, giving people, money back or forgiving debt is a good way to get people to vote for you. I mean, from a brass tax type of thing, it really does help people want to vote for you if you just say, hey, I'm taking away your debt, because people have a lot of debt. Most people in this country have a lot of debt, and it sucks. So if somebody comes along and says, hey, I'm a politician, if you vote for me, I'll take away your debt, people will be like, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, no worries, George. Always happy to help you out. But I do think long-term debt is going to help SoFi out a lot. I still see the commercials on TV, and I do think they're getting people still signing up to reorganize their debt. I do know one of my friends was talking to me the other day about his student loan debt. He's a computer tech guy, so he makes really good money, but he had to put up a lot of money because he went to the University of Washington, which is like a $50,000 a year school or something like that. But he was telling me, yeah, he stopped paying off his debt because the interest isn't occurring anymore, and he's just waiting to see if Biden's going to take some off. And if Biden takes some off, then he's going to start paying off his debt again. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Like, people are just they're not paying debt because they don't have to because of COVID, and they're just waiting to see what happens. which is, I mean, like, if the government's going to open up a door for you to do that, I mean, by all means, go for it. But I was like, oh man, I can't even imagine. I'd be too freaked out about going in default or something like that, right? I'm trying to buy a house. All my friends have apartments, not houses. Only one of my friends has a house, and he's out on the East Coast. Every single one of my friends on the West Coast has apartments that have rents that are worse than the average mortgage in the state. People always want those really nice apartments. And hey, Matthew, I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking, my man. Pretty busy day, but it's been pretty good. Lets me know as well. So I got the contract today from my the person that's going to be sponsoring the channel going forward here. You guys know I was working with BitGet up until maybe a few weeks ago now. The new sponsor of the channel is going to be Femex. Femix. I don't know how you guys pronounce it. I'll talk about it more on Tuesday, but pretty soon you're just going to see a banner in the top right hand channel of the stream, and you guys will be seeing me say, hey, everybody, sign up for Femex, yada, 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 and that type of stuff. And they're not available for America. I've used it because I have a special account through them that I've had for a while. But if you guys are in America, you're not going to be able to use it. But if you guys are anywhere else, pretty much, you guys are going to have access to it. So I'll talk to you guys about that. And when I do my live trading and stuff like that using their accounts, I'll be using a special account that so you guys can follow me on your own personal exchanges if that's what you want to do. So get ready for that. Hope you guys enjoy the new sponsor, and make sure to click on the links that I share because it does show them that you guys are interested in their products. Okay, I would really appreciate that when the time comes. So that's the big news coming out next week, but a little tidbit today. Hey Matthew, where do you think we top out midterm? Do you think we get to 26.5? I think we run into that 20-week moving average. I'm not entirely sure how high that's going to be, but that 20-week moving average on Bitcoin, I think, is where you're going to start to see those really big moves start to happen, where you start to see those rejections. I know we're just looking at some basic trend lines here. Let me get rid of this right here. Let's get rid of this right here. It always looks so ugly when you do it like this. I don't know why. You guys can see that okay? Yeah, it's fine. But this 20-week moving average here, I think we can get as high as $27,000 actually over the next 2 weeks. I think either we should have a pretty strong finish to the end of this week if we want to break out, and then going into next week, we should have a nice big pump, and then towards the end of next week, I assume we're going to have the reversal, and that's where we start having our problems. It may be extended out one more week here, but if let me see if I can do something for you guys very fast. Let's open up a new chart. This chart should do fine. Here's the normal moving averages. So here's the weekly. I want you guys to be able to see the grid lines here, and that's why I'm changing up this chart a little bit. So I'll do the grid lines being white. Oh, they are white already? There we go. Okay. I just got to change the opacity of them. Opacity. This is going to look very ugly, but just deal with it for a second, okay? So each one of these vertical lines represents a week. So a week, a week, a week, okay? At the current trajectory, if you kind of draw this line out here, let me take the magnet off, you're going to see that we're coming down pretty hard. And you can see us ending up right here. I know that's not a straight line. I should probably, since it's a grid format here, it's going to be tough. Let me just do raise, I guess, for this one. I think you guys would agree with me that you could see the trend line coming something like this after what we're looking at. I think we can see the trend line continue to come down. Maybe not as aggressive, but pretty similar than this. So over the next few weeks here, as we continue to pile up, I don't think this week we're going to come anywhere close to it. Next week we might have an opportunity if we have one big surge. It might even happen the week after that. But if you were to buy now, and let's say we get back up here to the minimum, Bitcoin might be able to go all the way up to $28,000, which kind of goes up here to this other level of support over here as well. Right now we're actually getting stopped off a little bit by this one right here, right? So I think pretty soon we're going to have this big red flag resistance zone. Let me take off these colors now. It's going to drive me nuts. Look at those bars here. Oh, my eyes feel so much better now. I think you guys could see a pretty decent sell-off level between 25,400 or so, between in that and maybe up to like 27,000. That'd be a good sell-off level there if we want to continue to pump. Right now, we do have the luxury of the 200 weekly moving average being our level of support, so we do have an opportunity for later on this week and going into next week and maybe even the week after that. I'm a little bit skeptical after that, of course, because that's more into September. No, that's the end of the week. Wait, let me see. This week, next week. No, that's one more week. So we show in August. We have the opportunity to go up a little bit higher here. It might be a little bit more of a grinding hard push, but altcoins eventually will be making the move back up if we can do that, okay? Now, where things get tricky is we talked about the 20-week moving average on the exponential, on the simple moving averages. On the exponential moving averages, this is where things get a little bit more tricky, and why I'm like, yeah, we'll see how this works out, right? And that's because right here we have the 200 weekly moving average. This is currently setting around $26,831 and not even around the $28,000. $28,000 means we might have to be able to break above the 20 exponential moving average and the 200 exponential moving average. Historically, if we go back in time, usually when we break back out above the 200 weekly moving average on the exponential level, exponential, we're in full-blown rally mode. Full-blown rally mode. I have to go back to the daily charts to show you guys this, but okay, let's not even worry about it. That's 2015. It's 2022. We're in a different world, right? Zoom. There we go. So I think that's where we might start seeing some of those larger hiccups here. And for the first time ever, we're going to have a death cross between the 20-week moving average and the 200, which may also lead us into a death cross here with the 50 and the 200 over the next few months. Now, something that can happen, which I think is very, very, very unlikely here, guys, is we may have a mega pop, and I'm talking about mega pop that brings Bitcoin up to 28,000, 30,000, which is why I say highly unlikely. But that might be able to really get a push up here for the 20-week moving average, leading Bitcoin to actually go, leading the 20-week moving average to not actually break down below it, and for us to start a whole new bull market from there. Unlikely, guys, so unlikely. But you know what? This is crypto, and a lot of crazy stuff can happen. I'm on the other side of that, as you guys know, thinking that we're probably going to get rejected somewhere around here, because again, there's on the weekly charts, we can have wicks. We could pop above both these only by the end of the week to be crashing back down, close down below them, and then sort of reversal there. So it could be a huge fake out when that time comes. So we got to be watchful and mindful of that. But, you know, I think eventually we're going to be coming back down to at least the 20,000 range, $20,000. And then from there, the economy will really guide us forward to see if we're going to have a really bad time, go back down to $15,000, $14,000. Or if we're lucky enough to see Bitcoin really not go much lower than that and just have a good bottom for this year, for this cycle of being around $20,000, $17,000, which would be fine with us because we've been accumulating for a while. All right. But usually, which is why, you know, I don't think the economy really says, hey, everybody, the economy is so good. Well, let's get ready to start a massive bull run on Bitcoin. Do you guys have that feeling that we're ready to do a massive bull run? I mean, I don't, but you know, I'm just me. There's a lot of other YouTubers out there saying that, Twitter people out there saying that we're ready to go. So, you know, I'm watching this very cautiously here. But as I look at where we might go in the midterm, I still think we could possibly break above this and this, but I don't believe we're going to close above it by the end of the week, so to speak. So what might happen is we have a candle here. Let me have a line to draw. Something like this. So for this instance, let's just pretend that this is the 200 moving average here, even though it's not. It's like way too high above us. But let's just say we're tealing up here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then at the end of the week, we've closed here, which is not above that level, and now we start our cycle back down to consolidate, not to crash, just to consolidate and see where we go next as the economy starts to give us more news coming out here. Because like we talked about a few days ago, even though inflation has been ticking down, it doesn't mean that the Federal Reserve is going to stop raising rates. They may lower the amount of rates they're going to be doing. So instead of a 75 basis point later this month or next month, they may just do a 50. And then maybe they'll do another 50 after that, maybe a 25 after that, or maybe they'll just do 25s. Or no, I wouldn't say 25s. But they're not going to just do a full-on halt of all interest rate hikes. And as they do that more and more, the dollar will continue to get more and more powerful, which will depress the value of, you know, crypto and the stocks, as making everything more risk off instead of more risk on that we're normally used to here. So keep an eye out for that 200 daily moving average up here, right? As far as Bitcoin's concerned, way up here. We don't have to worry about it anytime soon, I don't think. But on the weekly charts, really pay attention to those moving averages, especially the simple and the exponential. If you guys wanted to talk about the DEMAs very fast, I think we can here. Simple, exponential, DEMAs, TEMAs, as far as moving averages are concerned. But as you guys can see from here on the daily, we've already broken above the 200. It really doesn't mean anything when we do. Pop above it for a little bit of time, ended up coming back down. Pop above it for some time, but this is a bull market, so I guess it's a little bit different here. But you can see, it's not really a major indicator of anything that I've ever seen. So actually here, if we look at this, when these start to cluster too, we do see some larger movements. Not as accurate, I would say, as the TEMAs, just because the TEMAs had the merging right here before the big drop. This had a drop, but not the big drop, right? So, the clusters here, not so much. Clusters here, yeah. Clusters here, yeah. Clusters here, yeah. Clusters here, yeah. Okay. Clusters here, yeah. So, there are some good things to be said about these clusters as well. I am still more of a fan of the TEMAs, of course, as far as their cluster technique. But pretty soon, guys, we're getting back into a cluster field here, where over the next 2 weeks or so, we might actually start to see a little bit more volatility, which should lead us into the TEMAs having their squeeze effect on us as well. But if we go over here for the weekly chart, which is what I was mostly going for here, you'll see we're very far away from the 50-week DEMAs. Like, that's all the way up here at $30,814. No, we're already above the 20 here. Fine, that works out for us. Last time we were above it, we weren't up there for long. It doesn't really feel like it has any real significance to me. And as far as TEMAs are concerned, TEMAs really don't work too well on the weekly charts. You guys are going to see that the 200 actually just flat out disappears, there. And as far as the 20 and the 50, we really haven't seen it do too much of an effect for us. Maybe some death crosses here, death cross there, led to some pretty nasty moves down. We're looking for a golden cross. Last time we had a golden cross, slight pop, then a drop. Golden cross here, slight pop. They really didn't do much in the immediate term here. So, I'm banking hard on a lot of those moving averages according to the weekly charts here, really causing us some stress as we try to break out above them. Until then, until we actually break out above this simple trend line here, though, or you could even just say this level of resistance over here, I'm going to assume we're not going to break out, and I'm happy to take my shorts. I have my shorts open right now. They're doing okay. I've scaled at 50% of them so far after we got rejected off of that double top earlier, and I'm just taking it easy. There we go. Okay. See, hey Ken, what happened with BitGet? Nothing happened with BitGet. Fibonacci just offered me more, and with more money for the channel, I can actually, I can afford more streams. Like, for me as a creator, I understand I have a worth because I have a following, and people will trust me to give them, good products. And you guys know I don't do all the spam coins. I don't ever want to show up on CoffeeZilla selling some type of NFT scam to you guys, right? So they flat out, like, the platforms are pretty much the same. Fibonacci has a nicer staff. They kind of treated me a little bit better, to be frank. But what do you call it? They're both from Singapore. They're both like blocks away from each other. They're pretty similar in a lot of ways. But Fibonacci paid a lot more than BitGet would for me, and they're giving me money to do live day trades with you, which I think is going to be pretty fun, and do swing trades with you and long-term trades with you. So you guys can actually keep track of my trades in a little bit more transparent way. So I think that'd be kind of fun to say, hey, everybody, these are the trades I'm doing today. And then since I have a special account with them, we'll go back over there like maybe a few days later and see how the trades are doing and see what the net profit is. And since they're paying me they're giving me money to trade with, frankly, I can be much more aggressive with these trades than I normally would be, because you guys know how conservative I can be with trades and how anxious I can be while trading in front of people. Well, if I'm not risking my own money losing anything, and I feel more confident because of that, because I don't have to worry about, closing, opening positions, going through my normal strategies and stuff like that, I feel much more inclined to do a little more aggressive to where you guys might be at, because you guys know I don't have to trade as much to make money, because I have a little, if I trade $10,000 at a 10x leverage and I make 10%, I'm walking away with a lot more money than if one of you guys trades with $100 at 10x leverage yourself, right? So I normally don't have to trade as much money to kind of make ends meet, and that's one of the luxuries of being a full-time trader here. So this will allow me to get out of my shell a little bit and have some fun with you guys as far as live trading. And that way you guys can see exactly me buying something live on the stream, and you guys can, you know, keep track of my trades and just kind of have fun with it. So it's a big factor of it actually was the fact that they're going to give me money to trade with you guys with. It's not like I can take the money and run, right? Like that. But they're going to give me money so I can do a lot of live trades with you guys, which I think is going to be pretty fun here for you guys. And me, actually, so I can go a little bit more aggressive. See, hey, Knucklebuster, this was all a pump and dump, not a bull run. I agree with you there. I think this is a bear market rally. I do think this is a bear market rally here for sure. Where do you see hood price top out in 3 weeks? About mid-sized position calls expiring in a month. Thank you. As far as hood is concerned, excuse me. Let me take a sip of tea here. As far as hood is concerned, let's take a look while Bitcoin's make a little bit of a pause here. So this one's kind of been all over the place. I tried to do some Fibonacci work. It worked here. It worked there. Afterwards, though, it got really choppy here, like really, really choppy. And by choppy, I mean like one day it's up 10%. The next day it's down 8%. The next day it's up 5%. The next day, I'm going from close to close. The next day it's down 5%. The next day it's up 5%. The next day after that, it ran up 4%. At the peak, it was up 6%. So this thing has been kind of all over the place here, which has been kind of freaking me out about it. As far as what I can see, if I was to scale out, I still have this scale out level kind of right here around $10.93. It may decide to go up a little bit higher. At the higher end of this thing, I would probably be trying to aim for a price target of anywhere between $11.50 and $12 if you're going to be holding for the next few weeks here. And then from there, just be aware of what may happen if it does decide to break down below the 20-day moving average. Normally, it doesn't actually affect it too much here. What you're going to want to see happen instead is crypto start to make some moves. I think crypto and the overall market has been leading this thing to have some really nice pumps. But, you know, I wouldn't be hoping for anything above $12, frankly. $11.50 to $12 over the next few weeks. I'd be very happy to be selling off some options at that current price point. You may see this thing actually move up even higher over the next few weeks. I think we may see a mini catalyst coming probably closer to the middle of next week, most likely, having a little bit of a boom. And then from there, you might be able to make it go back up here to these levels of resistance like $12 and $11.50 that we just talked about. So I think Robinhood's in a good spot right now. Earnings were okay, as you guys can see. It wasn't devastating where it caused it to, you know, have a big drop. But historically, Robinhood earnings aren't really too bad here, right? Not too bad at all. So, you know, $11.50, $12. I think that's where I want to see a max here. If things get really, really good for the market, maybe we have a breakout, unexpected news or something like that, we may be able to get to $12.50, but realistically, I think $12 is a valid place for me to start selling off some calls there. Long-term trades for Robinhood, my average is now around like $8 or so. I'm happy with that average. I'm not going to buy any more Robinhood for a while. If Robinhood drops back down to $6 or something even lower than that to new all-time lows, then I'll start accumulating more Robinhood. But I don't want to take the chance right now because, you know, before I started accumulating for the long term down here, I only did a day trade with you guys live here from like here to here. I think Secret Fish bought here and sold all the way up to the top here and really dumped off a large amount of shares. But at this moment in time, you know, we're having some issues. We managed to break above the 20-week moving average because it just kind of appeared here for the first time in a while. Remember, it kind of appeared right here, but we've never really been close to it besides here back in, what, March-ish? So, you know, I think it definitely has some more room to run, but this is definitely kind of at the end of its rally here off of a nice, since the lows over here, it ran up like 67%. It's definitely had a good size rally so far. $11.50 to $12, though, is what I'd be expecting from Robinhood there. There we go. Okay. And your calls are expiring in a month. You got plenty of time. They got plenty of time. Hey Caleb, good time to buy more Mana, Soul, and ADA. As far as those coins are concerned, yeah, I would say if you want to start buying them, you can. I would probably wait for a little bit more of a pullback though. Personally, I want to see Bitcoin take a little bit more sizable dip. Or if that strategy fails, I'll just trade the Bitcoin breakout and see where it takes me. Right now, I've been looking at a few things. So right now, I'm actually watching on the 15-minute chart right here, this green line here to the 200 here. I want to see if we're able to break back above it or not. But if you go to a lot of these coins, like let's say ADA or anything like that, go over here to the daily charts. You can see we talked about this a little bit yesterday. We're kind of still facing this level of resistance here. I think what I would want to see, what's the best way to do this? There we go. I'd want to see 88 close above this resistance level of 54 cents or so if I want it 0.5443. If I want to be able to buy this off of some type of breakout technicals. Until then, I'm kind of just watching it and waiting. If it comes back down to this trend line, then I'll probably be looking to buy in here. You can see as long as it doesn't close down below it on the daily chart, it usually does do okay here. So my only concern right now here is we have this Fibonacci extension tool. We've been unable to actually close above this level so far over the past few weeks. And now we're in a place where we have one top, two top, and we have a neckline down here. And that neckline is at 0.5020, a little teeny bit above 50 cents. If we actually do break down below this and actually break down below this neckline, I would think ADA would actually come all the way back down here towards 48 cents, 0.489, almost 49 cents actually. And then from there, I would actually like to buy for a pivot point up here for a short-term day trade. And I would really like to buy down there, but that's assuming that we're going to have a short-term breakdown here. And if we do, who knows what Bitcoin's going to be doing during that time frame as well. So it might get a little bit more tricky there. But right now, you know, I'm patiently waiting, but I want to see a breakout here, or maybe even buy some right here on maybe a pop off of the support level. But you got to be careful as far as ADA is concerned. For the rest of the coins, just watch to make sure, see if they're breaking out. If they are, you should have an opportunity there. But I'm keeping my stop losses pretty loose right now and doing smaller positions. That way I can kind of work around if the market does something really unexpected. That way I'm not getting stopped out before a reversal or something like that. There you go. I really just want to see if Bitcoin's going to have the conviction up here to really start doing a short-term reversal. Right now, it doesn't look like it because we already broke down once, but you never know. If whales were able to help us out here, actually, let me see. Hour chart, breaking down below the 50, 4-hour chart, coming down to the 20. Okay. There's still some opportunities here. Excuse me. See. Hey Caleb, should have bought all in when Ethereum was at $1,100. I'm buying a ton of ADA, Mana, and Solana. Yeah, what do you call it? Don't ever kick yourself for not buying when the whole world was falling down, so to speak. We've talked about this a lot. That's why I usually say, hey, if you're afraid or you kind of get nervous when the markets fall and just crashing or having a 17,500 and you just don't feel like you want to buy, that's why I buy a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow during the last few months. That's what I've been doing. Dollar cost averaging, just bringing those averages down bit by bit. And then, you know, during those really big crashes, I tend to buy at those crashes as well to really dump the moving the averages down, excuse me. But you know, there are plenty of people out there, a lot of people out there that did not want to buy Ethereum when it was under $1,000 because they were afraid it was going to go down to $500, down to $400, right? A lot of you guys asked me the same thing back then, and I was like, it depends on what you want to do. I'm buying at these levels, I would say, but it's up to you if you feel comfortable enough to buy. And I said, if you guys want to just buy a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow, guess what? It'll help you out. And that way, if it continues to dump, you're not going to be losing a whole bunch of money, right? Now, I think you're probably going to have an opportunity to buy at those levels again, especially if you're looking for a long-term trade. But, you know, by no means am I 100% sure of that, right? I just think the macroeconomic levels of the economy, if you want to say it like that, it just doesn't look good. You know, even though oil is going down, that's because we're slowing down production as a country. We might have it. Well, there's a good opportunity, I would say, that the railroad workers are going to strike within the next few days, if not the next month. Let's be generous and say a month, but I think sooner than that, right? And I don't see many people talking about that. I don't think the market has priced that in at all. because I think Wall Street people, as Wall Street people do, they don't think that people would strike if it's illegal. If Biden administration comes in and says, no, you can't strike, we won't let you. If you have ever known a blue collar worker, they will literally just flip you off and say, bye. And just, I'm not striking, I'm just quitting. Right? And so, you know, I have a few that work downtown Tacoma on their rail yards, but there's a lot of unforeseen things, a lot of uncertainty. That's the classic word here, uncertainty. And I don't think that uncertainty is on the side of a bull market. I think that uncertainty is on the side of a recession and a bearish market continuing to go down until we get some structural changes into the way the supply chain is kind of handled. They just passed the supply chain or the infrastructure bill last year. I don't know how you guys in the other parts of the world work. Our country is extremely slow and corrupt about how it puts that money out there and really puts it to certain parts of the economy. So it's going to be a long time before that money is actually used appropriately to really start doing some good stuff here. I think they're going to try to modernize ports, which is going to be good. I think they're going to have to try to do a little bit more to the railroad systems, which I think is going to be good. Airports, good, all that type of stuff. But as you guys know, even airports are having trouble right now. So it's just kind of a mess all over the place. And I don't think that mess is going to get better anytime soon. I just don't think the mess itself, you know, you could, when you think of the America being in a mess and think of just supply chain issues, each of us probably has a little bit of a different viewpoint of what's bad in our local area. But do you think it's going to get fixed anytime soon? I don't. And because of that, you know, I think the market may not flat out just like crash down to like, you know, Bitcoin may not go down to 5,000, 10,000, maybe even as low as 12,000. But I do think if we could always go down to $15,000 from here once the layoffs start happening a little bit more aggressively. Right now we have more layoffs happening. We have more unemployment happening now, but it's not at the levels that would say, oh my gosh, a large portion of America is unemployed. What are we going to do for these poor people? People, for the most part, aren't really thinking about that. They're thinking about paying for their house, paying for food, paying for electricity. And, you know, that's not a good place either for the average person to be. So we're just kind of in this really bad spot, which is why I think we're going to be coming back down eventually here. So you may have an opportunity to buy Ethereum at that 1,100 level again. Hey, Courtney. Hey, Michael. When do you plan on doing live trading? It would probably be during the time when I normally go live, around 6 to 7 p.m. It wouldn't be like I'm doing a whole bunch of day trades because I would want to see a proper setup. Like right now, if I was doing a trade, I'd be like, hey, let me short this sucker right now. But if I was live at the middle of the night like I was last night, I'd be like, okay, let's do the trade right now. Let's just wait to see what happens. And then I would have made the trade. And then sometime over the next 24 hours, I would update you about the trade, or I may do a screenshot about it and something like that, you know, because it's not like I'm going to do a day trade here shorting this and just close it right here just to show you guys, oh, I made a little bit of money from here to here. I would still want to show you the entire thought process here. And what I might want to do there is also just open up a formal trading journal specifically for these live trades that I do with you guys. So it would most likely be these multiple swing trades and stuff like that to kind of keep track of where everything's going. I think that'd be pretty fun with that. And that way you guys would know all my stop losses, everything like that. And what I could do for you guys is, so you guys know I gave you that free trading journal a while ago. I could always have the trading journal link down below in my description, so you guys could always see if I added any new positions while I was, while you guys were away, or maybe I'm sick for a night or something like that, because every once in a while I just don't feel good enough to stream. Maybe you guys could just see, hey, Michael added a trade onto his trading view thing right here or something like that. So I may try to do that for everybody as well. I think that'd be actually a pretty nice move there. So here. Hey, Neil's Coinbet Mara. Oh, there's a little bit of a dump. See, talk about shorting here, right? But yeah, let me check it out very fast. Let me know if you're talking about Marathon Digital Holdings, Neil's Coinbet, or if you're talking about a crypto coin, because I don't know. And usually I always ask, let me know if it's crypto or stock, and if it's stock, I'll look it up right there to see it. But if it's crypto, I can't look it up because I don't see it on TradingView. Okay, there you go. Yeah, somebody's trying to push Bitcoin down right now. I mean, again, we're looking at this 200 here, but in reality, what you guys need to be paying attention to is the 20 on the 4-hour chart, right? Usually when we break down below those are some pretty big moves. Larger moves, larger moves, larger moves, That was the rejection, larger moves, right? So keep an eye on it, but that level right now for the 20 moving average on the 4-hour chart, the current level is $23,713.86. Okay, 81. It's kind of moving around a little bit since the price of Bitcoin is moving around a little bit. So that level of resistance. Oh, it's right around here where we bounced off. Let me see if I can move this here. 4-hour chart. There you go. So this is the support level I'm really looking at right here, which is why I'm like, let's see how this plays out, because we could always bounce up from here. Hopefully we don't break down below this. That would be a pretty nasty move on our part, though, on Bitcoin's part. There we go. All right. Need to keep that running up for everybody. Have I bought more Elon? No, I have not bought more Dogelon Mars. I have not. I bought quite a bit of it a few weeks ago when Bitcoin was flat out crashing, but I haven't been buying any more of it. And if I'll show you why here. There you go. There you go. So we had this big crash over here in May, another crash over here. I bought some through here, here, and here. It hasn't really done anything. I don't feel the need to really continue buying it at this point, because again, I think the market's going to be coming down in the future, and then I'll be happy to buy it back as it comes back down, because if it comes back down to these lows we experienced a while ago, that's like a discount of like 30% off of those Dogelon Mars, and I have like, millions and millions and millions of tokens because it is such a cheap coin here. I'm happy to just keep this down here and not buy too much more. And part of the reason is, again, this is one of those higher risk plays that I have to go to where we do the filter to find lower market cap coins. So 500 million, price 0.01, right? So when you do this, you find Dogelon Mars right there, $180 million market cap. It's down a little bit. It hasn't really been rising up as much as a lot of other coins over the past month, which has been interesting as well. But, this is a higher risk coin to me, and I don't feel like I have to put so much money in it to make money. I'm happy with the few $100 I have in it right now. If it drops down even more, maybe I'll add to that. Maybe I'll add up to $700 of Dogelon Mars. But for now, I'm patiently just waiting to see what happens with this coin, because I do think it will probably come down even more. Today I sold some of my Spell token off because it's really risen up over the past few weeks. I sold my UFO coin today or yesterday, and I'm going to be buying some more of it later on. But UFO token has I'm not selling all of it, guys, like a portion of it, just like I do with STMX. But like some of these coins have just been popping off so much that I, like as a long-term trader, I'd be like, ooh, I really want to see this happen. Like UFO coin right here. Look at this. It popped off yesterday. I was like, well, how could I not sell at that point? Because again, my average for this has been so low because I've just been accumulating for a while. Because again, metaverse token, crazy fan base. We've talked about all this yesterday. And I was like, okay, well, let's see what happens. And my average was like somewhere down here by that point, not the very low. I wish I'm like 40% off the low. So I'm not by the low by any stretch of the imagination. But 184% profit. Off of half the coins I sold, not all the coins I sold. But, now I can start accumulating it. So over the next few days, as I get closer to this 20-day moving average, I hope to be buying more of my UFO coins back. But I'll be walking away with a huge fat profit because, again, like I sold it right around here. If I get back around that 20-day moving average, I'll be buying back at a discount of like 21% after making like 150% profit. I love that. And even with Spell token, which, Spell token, Tether, not nearly as glorious as I would say as UFO coin, it's still making you like 61% profit. How could you not sell? How could you not sell, right? And even this looks like it could actually continue to move up a little bit more here. I was looking at this in the 4-hour chart, and it held up against the 20 moving average here. And I was like, this may actually move up all the way up here to these highs over here. So I'm keeping an eye on all these coins here. But again, these are those lower market cap coins that are much more risky, but these are what I'm having a lot of fun with right now, as far as these are things I've been buying up for the long term. And because of that, I've just been selling portions of them off as they spike, taking that money, the difference of it, and putting it into my account to buy more of these coins later on. But in the meantime, I've been able to accumulate even more coins, which has been fantastic. And if you guys go over here, look at the last 30 days, like we talked about a few days ago, Hoj Finance up 241%, UFO Gaming 184%, Xeon 158%, HyperDAO up 155%, Freeway token up 139%. These coins have just been going crazy because, again, they have those lower market caps. And when the market crashes again, which I think it will eventually, like I keep on telling you guys, I'm going to be buying even more of these coins. But the next time we crash, if we go to 17,000, even just 18,000, maybe even 15,000, who knows where that bottom is, I'm still going to be plenty happy to keep on buying and buying and buying, because whenever we eventually get our way out of this, we find our way out of this horrible bear market that's just very boring. It's not as exciting. It's a little bit depressing, right? All of those coins are going to be moving up so parabolically, compared to Bitcoin, the Ethereums, the Matics, the Ethereum Classics even. They're going to be going by hundreds of percents, while a lot of these other coins are going to be going by tens of percents, right? My hair smell good, dude? Yeah. There you go. Let me make sure I can take out Neil's Coinbird stock. Okay, there we go. Mara, there we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. Marathon Digital Holdings. Yeah, that's the American one. Okay. Is this a short squeeze or something similar? You don't have to pout. He's grunting at me because I'm not playing with him. Short float 31%. This is a short squeeze happening right now. This is a very highly volatile play at this moment in time. Oops. Now, this isn't something I would normally like to trade because I don't like to usually trade short squeezes if I'm buying towards the top of them. At this point in time here, if you already have a position, I'd still continue to hold on to it, scaling out probably every $2 to $3 that it kind of runs up here. So if you are lucky enough to kind of buy down here, let's just not even say the bottom, but just right around here, around the $8 level, I would be scaling out right now and probably moving my stop loss up to around $15, $14. This may continue to rise up even higher, but right now, what are we looking at? I see more resistance up here. Yeah. I don't know if this thing's going to break above 20 bucks or so, but this is kind of hitting its last leg, so to speak, unless the thing really wants to go true parabolic. But I think with only a 31% short float, I don't think it's going to do anything too crazy there. It's losing money. It's down 132 million. It's the income last quarter was negative 132 million. That's not too good. Market cap is 1.73 billion. That's a lot, but that's just because it's being squeezed right now. This is a very volatile play. What I'd be looking to do is probably buy puts on the downward side, probably buy puts for $8, maybe $10, and then by the time it reaches $14 to $12, then I sell them out. I don't expect it to go all the way back down there that fast, but I'd be very happy to buy some puts over the next few days if it reaches $20, even $22, if it goes really crazy, and then just wait a couple weeks for it to come back down, and you'll be making a bunch of money. But for this one, if you do want to buy some options on it coming down, I'd recommend you buy them 2 to 3 weeks out and not 1 week out, because you never know what's going to happen in that 1 week. It could definitely continue to kind of move along here, but I would assume this thing is going to be coming back down quite fast, like every other, what do you call those? Short squeezed, excuse me. So, but it looks fine right now. I would just be aware of that 1951 resistance level up there. It may be able to break through it, but this looks like something that's going to be more of a thing that I'd be more inclined to day trade. Day trading these types of things is usually pretty fun if there's a reason to. There hasn't been really too many good setups here though. Not many good setups here for day traders at least. Looks like this is something you want to buy and hold. You will probably want to buy on one of the days where it's taking a pretty sizable dip. So probably tomorrow if you want to buy it. Buy the dip, see where it takes you. But this is fun money. This isn't real money investing. You gotta prepare yourself to lose some money if you want to trade something like that. But it's always worth a shot. I mean, I know a lot of people that like to have fun with those types of coins, and they do pretty well with them sometimes. See. Hey, Crypto Yellow Vest, can't sleep. I'm going to listen a little bit. Hey, happy to see you back, man. Hope everything's doing okay over there in France. Let's see. Can I check out Loop Ring? Yeah, let's check out Loop Ring very fast for us. Let me find the ticker for Loop Ring, because the last time I thought I knew it, and I did not know Loop Ring's ticker. It is that, okay. Why was I... Okay, it doesn't even matter. Loop Ring right here, LRC. Last time I thought I had it something else. There we go. Look at that massive double top. That's the craziest double top I've ever seen. All right. That's the low right here. Oh, what a weird one. This will be interesting. Okay, hold on a second here. Honored it, honored it, honored it, honored it. Okay, we're good here. Okay, the red line right here, it's not honoring it at all, but these next ones, it's doing just fine. So let me actually take away the red line here so it looks a little bit nicer. There we go. All right. So it's been getting rejected pretty handily from each of these resistance levels. This last one, it actually got rejected once, twice, 3 times. The 4th time it broke out. Then, of course, we got up here and it got rejected again. I'd most likely be willing to short at these breakout opportunities here or these resistance levels here. They look pretty juicy as far as shorting them back down. Let me go over here to the 4-hour chart, though. What are we looking at? Death cross happening here pretty soon. There we go. So you are getting closer and closer to a breakdown here. You still have a lot of, you got some room left over, another 4% or so. If it does break down below this, I think this would be a pretty easy short. On the other hand, if you're actually looking to buy this, I would actually be inclined to buy this on this breakout here and probably do a short-term breakout where I'd probably scale out 50% of the position right here. After that, you can see if it goes even higher than that. But again, these have been pretty darn sturdy over the last few weeks here. So, I'm a little bit more cautious about that, but if it does manage to break out, I might buy here for a short-term play, 10x leverage, and you could be making about 50% profit again if you use the 10x leverage. If not, you're getting like 5% profit, maybe even just 4.5% profit. But at this moment in time, I'm not buying it, I'm not shorting it. I'm waiting to see if I can short it here. Otherwise, if Bitcoin's looking okay during that time frame, when it actually comes in contact with this, I might actually do a buy right here and hope for it to actually curl back up and then scale out as I see fit. And if it does break out, scale out right here at the resistance level, then scale out again up here. And then if I want to have 10 to 20% left over to see how high it can go, I'll see if it goes up as high as 52 cents or something like that, maybe. But that's how I'd play that right now. Until then, I'm not looking to buy it until it hits here. I'm not going to look to short it unless it breaks here. I'm not going to look to buy it unless it opens up, unless it goes up here as well, breaks out there. So I think there's an opportunity here for sure. 4-hour chart looks fine. On the daily chart though, really keep an eye out for those Fibonacci extension levels. This thing has been pretty useful for them. The Fibonacci levels are going to be everything after this vertical line right here. Everything after this, it's been pretty good so far. Really good so far, actually. Normally, you don't see crypto being as nice with the Fibonacci extension tools. Just look at some of those other coins out there. It could be a pain for sure. But yeah, it looks fine to me. It looks fine. Not buying it or shorting it, but it looks like it's getting ready for a setup. So this is something I'd put on your watch list for you then. Hey, do I get FOMO or FOJO? Oh, fear of jumping in? I mean, right now, I usually get more FOMO than FOJO, I guess, or FOG. Fear of jumping in, like I don't really mind ever jumping into a coin usually, and it's because I have a stop loss. And I'm like, okay, well, I know if this doesn't go my way, I lose this amount of money. So the other day with Bitcoin here, let me show you guys this. Why is this like this? Four hours here, yeah. Oh. Yeah, let's see right here. Why is this working so nicely? If you guys remember the other chart, we flatly broke down and the trend line went from here to here, right? That's interesting. Okay, why is that so different here? Okay, maybe I'll do it this way. That may change something up here. From here to here. Okay, this is a little bit interesting here. My trend line the other day was not this hot, this low. It was actually more like this. So I'm just going to show you guys what was going on through my head at this point in time. And why I'm okay with taking losses, even though I don't want to have a loss, obviously. But what my mindset is when I actually place the trade here. So, see, you can even see when I place like this, it actually hit this trend line, it bounced off, and then it crashed down. So, let's say I open up a trade here. I opened up a short right here as we were breaking down. I was like, okay, cool. This was a 5x play because I knew CPI data was coming the next day. I knew there was a chance for this to really go big sky high or come down really fast. And so I didn't want to be on the wrong side of that trade with high leverage, which is why, I was like, hey, everybody, this is a risky trade here. So I do a 5x leverage trade right here. So let's just do 5x with $1,000, okay? So 5x $1,000. After the first few minutes, I was up about 1% on the actual trade with a leverage. I was up 5%, and 5% of $1,000 is like $50 or something like that. I think $50. Yeah, $50. So I was up $50 after just like a few minutes, which is like fine, right? But then I had a stop loss up here. Boopity boopity boop right up there. Because I just want to say, okay, if we manage to pop back above this, this is probably where things are going to get a little bit more tricky for me, and I don't want to deal with it. So I was up a little bit. I'm not up a lot, right? Because I was expecting, I was betting on the very violent move down, and that very violent move down would have taken us like, down here, which would have been about a profit of about, 2.5%. Or if we got really crazy, this would have been a full breakdown, taking us back down here to 10%. So it could have been like a 50x profit or something like that. So I would have made like $500 off the trade, right? That's the hope at least. But unfortunately, I was on the wrong side of that. So at the end of the day, when my stop loss triggered because it hit the resistance level, right? Or hit that stop loss, I ended up losing about 0.25% profit, which times 5 is about 1.25% profit, which is like just, I don't know, after fees, maybe like close to $30-$40 or so. But what that did, and which is why I didn't really care at the end of the day, I was like, okay, my stop loss hit was right here. I could have been down 25% right here. 25% of 1,000 is 250, right? And I had like I had 3 different trades going on, so it was like $3,000 in line here. But I could have been down a lot more here. But since I had that stop loss there, because I was like, we're kind of consolidating here, but if for whatever reason CPI comes out better than expected, the market's going to rip. And what happened? Market ripped, and it even ripped after my stop loss had already been triggered here. I wasn't taking too many chances off of that just because of how risky this whole thing was. But if you guys have stop losses, they can be, some of you guys don't need stop losses. I always recommend them. But your stop losses could be anywhere from like 1/3 of a percent, 0.5%, 1/10 of a percent, all the way up to like 10-20% if you guys are thinking long term. I still have shorts going on right now that I've been scaling out of, that I actually opened up those shorts all the way back over. Oh, log turned off. That's what it was. That I've taken here. There you go. And then I've taken from here, right? Now, these shorts that I've taken, I'm like 80% out of these shorts at this moment in time, and I sold the majority of them off when we were breaking through this level right here, and it sold some off here when we were kind of bouncing around once we started to see inflation kind of peaking. But, longer term shorts like 5x leverage, 2x leverage, they don't have to be high leverage because, again, 2x leverage with a $10,000 short, let's say I sold off just a portion of it here, so you're not going to see the entire amount, but 65% profit, a 2x leverage, that's 120% profit, off of a $10,000. So that means $10,000 over holding for like half of a year, 200 days, a little bit more than half a year. But it does pay off, and this is something that I think is something of a safe play. Remember, guys, throughout this whole period of time, when we were talking about bear markets, bull markets, are we going up or down? I told you guys a few times about the death cross that happens between the moving averages here in these market cycles. And what did we see both times? Death cross between the 20 and the 50 here led to a pretty bad move. And it's okay if you sold anywhere down here. You could have sold down here. It's still better to sell up here than sell down here. People don't like to think that. They think, oh, if I sell up down here, when it goes back up, I'm going to be so mad. And guess what? It usually does go back up. But people don't want to sell right here either because they always think it's going to go up even higher. And that's where they fall into the trap, because it worked once, it's going to work again. But you saw that death cross on the daily chart led us coming down. Death cross on the daily chart led us coming down after really big moves. It happened right here too, but that golden cross kind of saved us, so it was a little bit more tricky. So it doesn't always work, which is why nobody ever does it 100% of the time. But I am okay with selling here, even if I miss off this, because buying down here, up here, you're still walking away with a fantastic profit. But again, we were talking about some other stuff, and there was more stimulus checks coming out. The economy was still very good shape. Now it's not. But over here, look at that. Death cross right here after a nice little pump. Oh, it's okay, I got out of it. Now this was COVID related, of course, so it was kind of weird. But over here, even death cross. I remember back over here in 2019, I sold a lot of my crypto right here. I missed out on these highs, but guess what? It rallied up, and it wasn't a small rally. I sold right here at the death cross. It rallied up another 30%, and I was ticked off. But what happened just a few weeks later? It was down 18% from where I sold it off at. So I was happy to take that. I was happy to still walk away with profit because, again, you buy over here, you're selling right here. That's still 153% profit, and that's just Bitcoin. Of course, altcoins are much more volatile. You're making much more money, which is why it's it's okay. Bitcoin may only be going up. I may only make 150% off my Bitcoin profits, but for altcoins, I could be up hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of percent profit for those same trades, right? All right, let me get out of this now. Pop, and second, and auto, and boom. There you go. Seeing some movement here. It looks like we're not breaking down below that 20 moving average in the 4-hour chart just yet here. Little mini double top here. Top, neckline, boosh, bounce back up, retest, then come down. It's a second chart, so it might not actually do that, but it is pretty interesting to kind of watch to see how that plays out. See, is the Bitcoin hourly chart a head and shoulders neckline? Depends on what type of thing you're considering a head and which one you consider a shoulder. Are you thinking of this as a shoulder or this as a shoulder? I can see this being a shoulder, us making a neckline right now and then popping back up over the next few hours to make another shoulder to come back down. That may happen, in which case, if this is the bottom for the short term, you're going to have that neckline being something like that. So if we break down, you could short it from here, most likely taking it all the way back down to 23,527. A little bit more iffy though, but you could always think of the shoulder being a shoulder here, head here, coming back down even further to do a shoulder, and then maybe we bounce back up eventually. Or you could just see that this is a head and shoulders within a larger head and shoulders. It kind of gets weird on the hour charts, but yeah, I mean you could consider it one. I would want to wait a little bit longer to see if we can actually have the bounce off first, and then once we have the bounce, then I would put that neckline right there to there, and then yes, I would short that sucker if it does break down below that trend line right there. Yes. 2-hour chart looks a little bit nicer. Yeah, okay. 4-hour chart, not really too much of a shoulder right there, I guess. Yeah. 4-hour chart, you can consider a shoulder. Bottom, head. If we come all the way back down here, kind of weird since we had a breakdown, may have a pop to retest this out, then come back down and then get rejected. That's also a possibility here. We'll have to wait and see what the market looks like. Let me see if I can find CNBC. I want to see what the futures are looking like right now. We're seeing, it's more unch. We're up a teeny bit, not too much going on here. So yeah, not much going on here. Gas prices are falling. Here's why it's happening, whether it can continue. But yeah, so we're still mixed. A lot of stuff can still happen later on throughout the day. Oh, actually, I should fix something here very fast. I changed that up here. That's what it was. Okay, that's what it was. So remember, a couple of seconds ago, I was like, why is the chart looking so weird compared to what it did before? See, connection. That's because log was on. If you take log off, see how it pops right there? It was still a breakdown, don't get me wrong, but that's what my mind was puzzling about because I was like, why is that happening there? All right, now I need to adjust this right here, though. For now, I'll just adjust it to look like that. 1 second, auto. There we go. All right. And still facing some trouble with this 20 moving average just on the 15-minute chart. It shouldn't be that hard to get back above it. I think we can, since we do have the support level here, but I guess we're just kind of waiting to see which whale wants to battle it out first. See, hey Monica, no, this one's not in the USA. I get a special account with them since I'm an affiliate of theirs. But you guys, like again, you guys don't have to follow me live while I'm streaming. You guys could, if you guys have Coinbase, you guys can be like, hey, Michael's buying this right now. I'll buy some too. If you guys want to follow my trades, you guys don't have to, right? If you guys are using BitGet, you guys can use BitGet to do the same trades because they all have leverage. They all have, spot trading, everything like that. Because I won't just be doing leverage trades and stuff like that. I'll be doing spot trades. I'll actually use the account to actually be like, hey, I'm buying, $50 of UFO coin, $50 of this week, and this is what I'm adding on to my long-term plays here. And then you guys can see what's going on there. I'll make another trading journal just for those long-term lessons. We can kind of keep track of them all together. That way, from that one particular exchange, you guys can see all of my current and active trades for the long-term markets. And if I can keep up to date with it, like if I do a lot of trades off of their day trading and swing trading type stuff, I'll try my best to keep the trading journal up to date as well. But for the long-term trades that I do on there, it'll be very, very fun to see how all those work out. See. And hey, crypto yellow vest, yeah, we are getting more unemployment now. We are having more layoffs right now. It is going to be interesting to see how this pans out over the next few months. But yes, we are seeing more and more layoffs here, and not just the lower class layoffs. We're seeing layoffs in the higher up sectors, like corporate levels, which is interesting because those are the people that have the excess capital right now to go to the shopping, go everything, buy they want to do, go out and have fun at the restaurants and stuff like that type of stuff. And now we're trying to finally make a run at the 20 moving average here. Come on, little guy, you can do it. See. Hey, Caleb, I appreciate that a lot. I would never consider myself the GOAT of crypto talk because I have such a small audience compared to a lot of other people out there. I'm working on growing it, as you know, but it's kind of a slow market, and I'm not as entertaining as some of the other guys. But I want you guys to have the good vibes and not just the, the comedic people. I don't know what you want to call them. Let's see. But I appreciate that a lot, my man. Let's see. And hey, Steve, it looks like you got a good paying job over there. Dude, what are you doing? Yeah. Okay. And hey, Freedom Channel, what exchanges do I buy these coins at? I buy these coins from all types of exchanges. So normally, there we go, we popped up above it. So if you ever want to find out like an exchange for a particular type of coin, let's go over here to UFO coin, which is a coin that we talked about earlier in the channel, or even STMX, stuff like that. All you got to do is go to their page on coinmarketcap.com, scroll down, right? And if you scroll down, you're going to see UFO gaming markets. It'll say Bitcoin markets, Ethereum markets, whatever coin you're looking at, markets. Then you hit see all markets. And then from here, you can see all of the markets you're able to buy these coins at. And that'll make your life a lot easier. So you can buy this off of Gate.io, KuCoin, Uniswap, MEXC, LBank, LBank, BitTrue, Bitmart, ShibaSwap, BitGet. I bought mine off of BitGet here. And I have some on KuCoin as well. So you can buy them here. That's where you can find out where to buy them. If you want to open up a link with BitGet or KuCoin like that, please use my link down below. I would really appreciate it. It really helps with the channel a lot. But yeah, you can buy them a lot of different places. With Spell Token, I bought it off of BitGet, UFO coin off of BitGet. Mana, Ethereum, I'll go through KuCoin for that one. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can buy these coins, and it's just like where you can find them is usually where you buy them. KuCoin, I usually have a lot more coins on there because they over the past year, BitGet is actually catching up to KuCoin as far as how many coins they have. But KuCoin's had those coins for such a long time that I've just been buying them off of KuCoin, because once I start building up a long-term wallet for them, I keep that wallet usually on one exchange unless I want to transfer it over to like a Ledger Nano wallet or something like that. Should I be investing more in lower market caps? I mean, it depends on how much risk you want to take onto your portfolio, right? I think if you go with my method, remember I have that video out. If you go to my YouTube channel, I talk about how I buy low market caps. YouTube. How to find 1000x tokens before it's too late. What I normally do, you can listen to that, see exactly what I'm looking for. But, it depends on how much risk you want to take on. I still have much more money tied up in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, ADA, XRP. I have still a lot more money tied up in those than I do all of my other altcoins combined, right? Or all my other low market cap coins combined. But I think those lower altcoins have much more potential. If you want to take on more risk, you definitely can. What I would suggest is when you actually go through those lists and you try to see what your favorite ones are, like let's say, scroll up here. And you could change these up as well, so you don't use the same metrics as I do. But when I use this specific setup with just the 500 and under penny, those really easy ones, you know, anything on page 1 or 2 is usually stuff I feel pretty confident about buying into. Kinda. Page 2 gets more iffy because page 2 you can see we have market caps of down all the way down to $4 million, like really, really small market caps. I say kinda because, you know, back during a bull market, these are kind of like these are in the tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars because there's just so much money being poured into them. Like, I don't know. I don't know any of these coins. Do I know any of these coins? D-Hub, whatever, Mint Club, whatever this is. I have no idea what it is. But if you go to a market cap, at one point this market cap was all the way at 6.81 million, right? So that's much higher than where it is now at 4 million. So these things have grown quite a bit. Some of them come down really fast. Some of them come down more gradually. But my main point here is they're a little bit more risky. But I'm okay with taking on that risk because a lot of these coins do end up having some really strong moves. What you're hoping for is that some of these coins will go parabolic and they'll make you lots of money. Most coins may only run up like 1,000%, 1,500%, something like that, which will make you money, but usually you're not going to be ingesting, putting too much money into these coins in the first place. So it's not going to be life-changing money. It may give you $10,000, $15,000, right? But if you do that over a lot of different coins here, that can make you some really good money. But you gotta, I mean, if you want like really, you want to buy a house, you most likely will have to put in like $1,000 into like one of these coins and hope it goes parabolic, and then like parabolic like Dogecoin levels, then you could be really happy. But normally here, you know, I'm pretty happy with just buying these and kind of buying a little bit here and then kind of going through utilities and stuff like that. But if you want to know all the requirements I have personally, watch that video. It'll give you all the information you need to know. And hey, Steve, I have no idea why Anchor ripped so hard. I'm more inclined to short it at this point. It has been moving up incredibly fast. It's something definitely on my watch list right now because it could actually go up another leg here. And if it does go up another leg, I may actually try to short that sucker down. Let's see. Hey, thanks so much, channel. I appreciate it. XRP, yeah, hold on one second here. XRP. So as far as XRP is concerned, it has had an okay rally. It's not something I'm really excited about. It's like only 30% or so. Over the last few weeks, I've been trying to see if it's ever going to come back down to this level right here. There we go. We're still pretty far off of it, just like Ethereum did and Bitcoin did. Let's say Ethereum. They both are kind of, Ethereum, excuse me. They're both kind of riding the 20-day moving average over the last few days here. It did break down before. This kind of reminded me actually more of Bitcoin here, not so much of more of Ethereum now that I think about it. But as far as XRP is concerned, I'm not buying any right now. If we come back down to this trend line, I might buy some more here, but I'm not really inclined to really buy any more XRP at this moment in time. XRP is something I want to hold for the long term here, and I'm not really feeling the vibe to buy any more of it. I might buy some more if we come back down here, but not so much now. I really want to buy it actually if we come back down to this trend line here. But as far as what I'm looking at from XRP, I was trying to do this actually a few days ago here. And you can see how we ended up reaching the price target of 1. And usually when we reach that price target of 1 here on the Fibonacci extension level, that's where I usually try to sell. I didn't sell any of my XRP because I wasn't swing trading any XRP because I was hoping like there were other coins popping off a lot more aggressively than XRP, right? But at this point in time, you know, we're getting rejected off of this one after like we did here. I'm more inclined to wait for us to come back down a little bit more if I really do want to buy back into this. Right now, your current level of resistance is right around here, around 0.3819, so a little under, a little over 38 cents or so. If it comes back up here to 40 cents, I'd probably sell anything I buy down here. It may be able to go up even higher, but man, that's a tall order to ask for. I'd be happy that it reached this price target and I'd be out of it right around here. And I'd still be happy to scale out here if I bought down here, hoping that it comes back down over the next few weeks in order for me to buy up even more. But at this point in time, I probably would buy it if it comes back down to this trend line here. I want to see a pivot where it reverses back up, and then from there break out above this level, then retest that one level, and I'd probably scale out the majority of it right there. And if it goes up higher, awesome. If it doesn't, I'll still walk away with some profit, but I want to wait for it to come down a little bit more before I buy into it. Oh, oops. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna call it a night here. Dog wants to go outside. I think he has to go use the bathroom here. You can see him having fun clawing up my shirt. This is a nice shirt. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys had a good day streaming with us today, or me today. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And as far as why Dogecoin is not making the big moves like it did before, that's because it's not a worldwide craze like it was before. It has a very high market cap, and very high market caps do not move like the lower market caps like we saw with STMX that popped off like 100% yesterday that we talked about. It's not going to be the same Dogecoin next time around. Next time for Dogecoin, it's not going to go up like tens of thousands of percents. It may just go up 1,000%, maybe a couple 1,000% at most. It's not going to be giving you those parabolic runs, but it should still give you a good return on the end at the end side of everything. Okay, buddy. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys